Hello and welcome to Country Roads Confidential. I am your host, Chris Anderson, publisher of YourSports.com, the West Virginia site on the 247sports.com slash CBSSports.com slash Paramount Network. Yep, you're looking at a solo pod this evening. Ear Sports is scattered across the globe or across West Virginia and Ohio. Mike is in Cincinnati. He's currently doing the post-game press conference with Neil Brown and select players. Andrew was at the basketball game last night, and here I am doing nothing. Well, actually, I'm getting ready to go to a wedding, so I'm doing the pod solo, rapid reacts, but getting a little help from you guys. I asked you all, our VIP members, on the message board to ask some questions, your thoughts on the game. I am going to pick some of those to incorporate some of my thoughts on the game. West Virginia's 31-24 victory over Cincinnati. Cincinnati came into the game as 4.5-point favorites in this one. Mountaineers were up 20. They're up 24-7 and driving, about to go up 31-7 before an interception in the end zone by Cincinnati. Seemed harmless at the time, turned into something else when the very next play turned into an 80-yard touchdown reception, cut the lead to 10. Quick 3 and out. Another quick touchdown, 24-21. Even with a pick, fumble, 6. I don't know how they ended up ruling that. It was a backwards pass from Brendan Sorsby. Tyron Bradley picks it up, runs it in for another touchdown. That seemed like it sealed the game until it didn't. As Cincinnati moved back down the field again, but onside kick does not convert. West Virginia kneels down, gets the victory. Let's go ahead and jump on over to some of your questions here. Interesting. First few, I think, are centered around because also at the same time that I posted asking for these questions, I posted on the board from the post on the field quick radio interview that Neil Brown does with the radio with Jed Drenning, and he was not happy about the offense. Believe he said something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the offense was so bad it did everything but lose the team the game. Just seemed honestly seemed ticked about it. Ticked about everything that went on out there, which is going to come up later in my discussion here because I think it relates to an answer that I'm going to give to one of your questions. But some of the questions here, why does WVU play not to lose? Did the play calling change after Nico's INT? Does Neil Brown fire himself as offensive coordinator after the game? Answer to the last one is no. Did the play calling change after Nico's INT? Yes. I think even before that, that was when I made a comment along the lines of, if you're expecting West Virginia to do something exciting the rest of the way on offense, just forget about it because it's not going to happen. I thought they were packing it in even before that, or were going to, when they were up 24-7 and had the ball because Cincinnati looked like an absolute mess offensively. Except then West Virginia took a shot downfield and again, and then did again. And that third one was the one that ended up getting picked off in the end zone. And yeah, then after that, it was kind of, hey, we're just going to hand the ball off and hope for the best here, run out some clock. But was that so drastically different from what we were expecting going into the game, what it was for the rest of the game? I don't know if it was. During the preview pod, we set the line for the number of drives that each team would have in this game. Said like 8.5, 9 would be the number. For West Virginia, it ended up being 11, and the only reason that they got to 11 was because they recovered that onside kick at the end. That counts. The kneel down counts as one. And then they got 3 turnovers. They forced 3 turnovers just to get to 11. So the plan for both teams has been for several weeks and was going into this game to hold on to the ball for as long as possible, try to take extra long drives, try to limit the number of opportunities, and get a 7-point win. One team executed that plan in some form or fashion, and that was West Virginia, and one team did not, and that was Cincinnati. So, yeah, I'm sure they tucked it in even, tucked the ball in tighter and played it even safer after that interception. But I think it was always the plan to try to get a lead and hold on and go from there. Um, Why does Neil Brown hate Justin Robinson? 12 targets on the year, 10 catches, 3 touchdowns, 2 big plays today, including a touchdown where he knew he was going to get demolished. And he took a hard hit, a legal hit right to the chest, looked painful, didn't even phase him, touchdown. Then made an amazing catch down the sideline for 50-yard gain. He is the type of player that can really flip the field and he can finish the drives as well. I'm surprised that he's not playing more. I predicted the week 2, week 3 that, you know, that the flip there, we were having a discussion about the number of snaps played by the backups compared to the starters. And I said then it's going to flip. Like it's going to come to the point where Robinson and Bray, who's been hurt, would be playing more snaps than the guys in front of them moving forward. Again, Bray's been hurt, but Robinson, even after that point, 17 snaps, 0 snaps, 17 snaps, 0 snaps, 38, 20, 17. So not a lot has changed there, although production continues to be, let's say, efficient for Justin Robinson, maybe deserving of some more snap time. Next question, Robbie0210 and My Couch Burns, both along the same lines. Nico or Green next week from Robbie, and My Couch Burns says there's no way we're going back to Green, right? It's a good question. I wonder, and maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll hear it in a few minutes. Maybe Mike is actively listening to it at the moment from Neil Brown, but bringing Garrett Green on the trip makes me wonder, was he available? I don't think he was, but bringing him on the trip makes me think it wasn't a complete 0% chance. Second, some his like I can't again go find the radio go find the radio feed if you can. If I can find it, I'll link to it on our board. I'll link to it below this YouTube video if I find it. But when he was speaking with Jed Jerning after the game, it was almost a feeling of disgust in his voice when talking about the offense. He was disgusted at what he saw from the offense and how they played on that side of the ball. And as we all know, and as we have seen over several years now, when you are unhappy with the way the offense is playing, ultimately that means you are unhappy with the way the quarterback is playing. So again, I haven't heard Neil Brown's post-game conference comments yet. We'll see if he feels differently about that. I'm sure he'll say something along the lines of, let me see the film. I'll get back to you on Monday. But that could have laid the groundwork because my thought before this was, yeah, a win here, no way they're flipping back to Green before the end of the year. But with those comments, makes me feel like maybe he's laying the groundwork for a switch back if he's not truly happy with what's going on or how they performed this afternoon. Because again, he said something along the lines of they did everything but lose the game on offense today. So next question. Cobb 0012. What changes did you notice on D today? That's great. I do feel like, and I'm wondering if this is more of what's the phrase where it's kind of hoping it would happen, and then I think it happened, so I'm going to just assume it did happen. Um, pressure, pressure. We have talked for a while now, multiple years, unfortunately, that if you can't stop somebody on defense, why not go crazy? Talking about past defenses, like, hey, if you can't stop somebody on defense, why sit back in the zone? Might as well just go zero coverage. Might as well go press man. Might as well just go after the quarterback. Something crazy because you're going to give up the big plays no matter what. So you might as well every once in a while get a couple turnovers, get a couple big sacks. It felt like that's what happened today, but I feel like I'd have to go back and review the film to see if that actually is what happened, if they actually pressured the quarterback more, if they actually blitzed more than they have in previous games. But whatever it was different, or if the players just played different, or if the opponent just stunk. The result was different. Okay. The result was different. West Virginia got 3 turnovers today. They created a lot of havoc. They had 6 tackles for loss, a couple, 3 sacks, broke up a couple more passes. They were all over the place. So even though they gave up a couple big plays, they made the havoc plays that, I think that defense needed to make. One more question. Before not thrilling. A lot of credit to Cincinnati for West Virginia's win today. Sure, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Um, when is the last time an opponent helped us out this much in a game? Suffocator. It's a good question. I'd have to go back and look. Um, Mountaineer Ralph, Mountain Ralph. We'll sum it up and we'll finish it with this one here. Do we feel good after this? That I think is the real question. Was it different today than it has been each and every week? A win is a win. That's it's not different. West Virginia's won a few games in the last year and a half. They won 9 games last year. They won 5 games so far this year. They're above 500. So it's not different. What was different was the chaos on defense. That was new. That was different. The disjointedness on offense was still there, still a concern. Again, it seemed like there could be a play here, play here. They get a couple a good chunk run, and now the drive's over. Well, there's a big play, and now the drive's over. Whoop, there's another big play, and the drive's over. That I feel like needs to change. I wonder how much of that has to deal with the play calling, how much of that has to deal with the quarterback play, having to switch quarterbacks. That's tough. Um, and I think that's something that we've seen fairly consistently for West Virginia over the last few years. So if you're asking me, should West Virginia fans feel good about this team moving forward? Should they feel happy with the program? Still up in the air. Because again, this is still a team. This is still a team that very much, and we said this even before these games, could win out and finish 8-4. It's not unreasonable at all. This was one of the toughest, according to ESPN's Football Power Index, the toughest remaining game on West Virginia's schedule. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if I agree with that. I think at Texas Tech is going to be tougher, but all of the remaining 3 games are likely 50-50-ish type games for West Virginia. And if you can get involved, if you can win those 3 50-50-ish type games, you're going to be sitting at 8-4. You're going to be in the conversation for the Big 12 championship game. And if you told everybody that before the season, yeah, that's what they wanted. And they would have been happy-ish with that. Again, you've lived the season. It's not that simple. There are more complications involved. It's not quite that pretty. So we'll see. I still think there are changes that need to be made in the offseason. I still think there's another level this team can go. We'll see what happens, but a win is a win. A win is good. And West Virginia moves about above 500, 1 game closer to bowl contention. Defense, it's not fixed. I'm not going to say that. I won't say it. I just won't do it. But this is a day that, yes, West Virginia fans should be very happy. I won't steal anybody else's catchphrase, but next week is a new week, and we'll see what West Virginia can do from there. Until then, I'm Chris Anderson. Talk to you then.